What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, look, man, I'm not trying to downplay the individual performances that we've been seeing this year. We do have some phenomenally great players playing in the NBA. And a lot of these guys will be certified Hall of Famers when everything is said and done. Okay? A lot of these guys would still be great players if they played during the heart of Kobe Bryant's era and the heart of Michael Jordan's era. I do believe that some of these guys would be great. But at the same time, I do believe that there are a lot of pretenders out there who benefit from the changes made in the NBA over the past 10 years, especially last 10 to 15 years. But, yeah, I just have to say this, man. You can call me a hater. You can call me, some old man that's yelling, telling you to get off my lawn or whatever. But at the end of the day, I know what my eyes tell me, and I know that what we're seeing is, in many ways, an abomination of basketball. Okay, it's a combination of rule changes that have happened over the past 15 years, which makes it pretty much impossible to defend these players. Okay. It's impossible. The physical aspect of the game's been taken out. Everything's been pushed to the perimeter. So if you're a quick guard with a jump shot and you have handles and you have three-point range, on any given night, you can explode for 50, 60, and as we seen last night, 71 points. That is the 8th highest scoring game in the history of the NBA. Michael Jordan never scored 71 points in the NBA game. All right? Jerry West never scored 71 points. Shaq, Bird, they've never scored these many points. And, at some point you got to look at it. Luka had what was called a historic performance just a couple of nights ago, only to see Donovan Mitchell do this. What's next? I mean, because at some point, you got to just look at things for what they are. This stuff is being normalized. Hell, at this point, I wouldn't even put it past LeBron to break Kobe's 81 points one night, just because he might want to do it. I mean, hell, he's already scored 47 points on 26 shots. If LeBron just made his mind up to just yak up 45 shots one night, he might do it. It's never been easier to score. And I don't know why people just don't accept that. Look, there have been already 13 50-point games this year. 13. The league is on pace to have 30 50-point games this year. 30. Off the top of my head, that would be the most since at least the 1960s, when Wilt was doing his thing. Contrast that to the 97-98 season, when there were only, I believe, 3 50-point games that year. One by Shaq, one by Tracy Murray of the Washington Wizards, and one by Karl Malone where he dropped 56 points against the Warriors. The very next year, the 98-99 season, there were no 50-point games. The season high was 46 points shared by like 3 guys, I think. 3 different players scored 46 points in the game. 46. That was the season high. A totally different NBA. An NBA where offensive players had to work for theirs. Defensive players still posed a monumental challenge to offensive players. And only the premier scorers were averaging 25 points or more. Only the premier scorers. I believe right now, this season will set a record for most players averaging at least 30 points per game. I'm going to try to verify that before I go further. Let's see. Luka Doncic is averaging 34.3 points per game, followed by Joel Embiid, 33.5. Giannis, 32.1. By the way, I've said this before, Giannis is on pace to have the highest scoring average ever for a power forward in the history of the NBA. Next is Jason Tatum with 30.9. Sean Gilchrist-Alexander at 30.8. Right there, that's 5 players averaging at least 30 points per contest. 5. If I'm not mistaken, I believe in 1961-62, it was 4 or 5 players that averaged 50 points. Averaged 30 points or more that year. Let me see if I can figure it out. Of course, Wilt averaged 50 that year. Let's see. Wilt averaged 50.4, followed by Elgin Baylor, who averaged 38.3 in 48 games. Then Walt Bellamy, 31.6. And then Bob Pettit, 31.1. So that's 4. This year it's going to be 5, y'all. 5! Effective field goal percentage. Effective field goal percentage this year is at 54.1%. That is the highest it has ever been in the history of the NBA. Ever. Think about this. The first 69 years in the NBA, effective field goal percentage had only been above 50% 4 times in the first 69 years. Just 4 times. Do you know that every season since 2015-16 has been over 50%? And steadily rising. The average offensive rating for a team is 113.5. That's the most it has ever been since they've been tracking that stat. Right now, the NBA teams are averaging 113.7 points per contest. That's the highest it's been since 1969, 1970. Free throw attempts are up considerably this year. 23.6 free throw attempts per contest compared to last year's 21.9. Even though I thought they said, weren't they changing the rules so they weren't calling as many bullshit calls from the perimeter, the James Harden rules, the Trae Young rules? Well, I guess they backtracked on that, didn't they? I guess it's in the books, but they tell their officials, hey, call it for the stars. it's just amazing to me, man. Field goal percentage, 47.1%. That's the highest it's been since 1992-93. And what's so amazing about that is that this year, teams averaged 34.3 three-point attempts compared to 9 three-point attempts. 9. Back in 1992-93. So even though players are taking so many threes, overall, the shot attempts are so, easy for these guys. Look, I get it. These players are better as far as handling the basketball. They're better outside shooters. I get that. But still, to have the league average of 47.1%, but you're yakking up 35 three-point attempts per game, and you're still shooting 47%, that just goes to show you that everything is geared to the offense now. And, it's just incredible. These guys are taking more three-point attempts than before. These guys are shooting more free throws than they have in many years. Field goal percentages are way up. And you're going to start seeing more and more, scoring marks fall. I'm not knocking the players of today. They're great. But to say that these players are better than the players of the past and all that, man, it's bullshit. Just incredible, man. It's just incredible what's going on. But anyway, it's just ridiculous, man. Look, when the Chicago Bulls won their last championship, Michael Jordan averaged 32 points per game in that series. The Bulls averaged 88 points per game in that series. 88 points. So it makes you wonder, what would he average in today's NBA? They held Utah to 83 points per contest. 83. That's not happening in today's NBA. It's just not going to happen. But the same side of it, the flip side of it, how much would Michael Jordan average today? Because he could get off. Back then, Michael Jordan was able to get off a good 23 shots a game easy.